Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Very good, very good.
Thinking back over your career, what do you see as the triumph and what do you see as the agony?
Yeah, actually, the triumph was like meeting all these great people. I was a big fan of so many bands. And then it was a dream come true. Like, for example, Gene Simmons, he produced one of our records. And, I was a big Kiss fan. So it was like unbelievable, like talking to Gene every day, working with him. We're still friends, and that was awesome. And then becoming friends with Lemmy. Actually, he was the one who did the first duets with me in 2000. It was on the Calling the Wild album. And then all these great touring experiences. My first tour was actually with my favorite band, Judas Priest, so I couldn't ask for that more. And in the UK, it was Wasp. I'm a big Wasp fan. I love Blackie Lawless and Wasp. Yeah, and then our third big tour was actually Dio. Unbelievable. And we did a great Dio tour in the States in 2000 again. And that was so awesome because that was the first time that we could even talk, because in 87 we couldn't speak English that well. It was all like, like we were kids. And, when I came to America, I could hardly speak English. And so on our tour, we just said, hey, hi, and have a good show. And then in 2000, we could actually have a really great, deep conversation. So that was awesome. And I would say all these great people, all the people I worked with in all these years, all these duets, like Pete Steele. There was another great guy, and we did one song was called Descent on our album Fight. And the last duet was with Johan Heck of Amon Amarth. That was great. So meeting all these fantastic people, that's for me, like that was the most, the best, that's, when you're a little kid, a metalhead, a fan, and then, when you get the chance to meet everybody and to share the stage, and, there's nothing like it.
So that's the triumph.
That's a triumph. So the agony, it always went up and down. And I must say, when I started out having my first band, I was 15, 16. We were just doing music and metal just for the fun of it. And then when we had our first record out, that was Burning the Witches. That was great. And the second record was with a major label. It was Hellbound. That was good too. And then the third album, everybody put so much pressure on us. Oh my God, they wanted to have it more commercial, more radio friendly. Of course, the pressure was on to sell many, many more records. And I tell you, when you do music, when you're creative, pressure is not so good, So that was like sometimes hard to, to stick it out. And, and when I was a teenager, I was pretty, like rebellious. So you never feel you can make compromises, It's like rather yelling, screaming, throwing things. And so there were many, many things, many discussions. And one of the most agony thing was when we couldn't use our name Warlock anymore, because somebody really stole it from us. And it took me 20 years to get the name back. But I got it back, and now I'm allowed to use it. And so there were many things, ups and downs, and you live and learn, and you appreciate the good times then even more,
So going all the way back, do you remember the record that turned you on to metal in the first place?
Yeah, actually, I grew up in the glam rock times. There was no metal back then, but my very first experience when I fell in love with music was when I was 3 years old, and it was Little Richard, Lucille. That song turned me on. Oh man, that was unbelievable. And then when I was a little bit older, like 7, 8, 9 years old, the glam rock time, that was like Sweet, Slade, T-Rex, Mark Bowen, I love Alice Cooper, Suzi Quadro. So that got a little bit harder. And then when I had my first band, we didn't even know that it was metal, because it was 1980, and in Germany the metal scene was very small, and then it grew big later on, really big, but in the beginning it was very small. So we didn't even know that we would do metal. And then some fans came in to watch our rehearsals, and then I said, are you guys a metal band, a heavy metal band? Back then it was heavy metal. And we said, that sounds pretty cool. So and then we found out many people are like us. They do the same kind of music, and and then it was time when I saw my first concert was Whitesnake. That was awesome. And my second concert was Judas Priest and Accept. And then we went on tour with Judas Priest in '86, and
Wow.
and then suddenly you were part of the metal scene, and it was great. And Ronnie James Dio, he was my biggest inspiration. David Coverdale, Rob Halford, James Hetfield. And I remember there was a promoter called us, and I said, well, you guys want to play? We have a little club. And we said, okay. And it was in the Netherlands. And I said, there will be another band from America playing. And they're brand new, they're cool, from San Francisco. We thought, that sounds cool. So we went to the Netherlands, played. It was maybe 400 people there. It was awesome. And then we said, hey, let's watch, the other band. It was Metallica. Wow. And I think it was one of their first gigs in Europe. And so I could definitely learn from the best. And then I met Lemmy eventually. It was in '84, '85, and
so you went from
with all the greats.
Yeah, you went from pretty much starting the band to touring with some of your heroes within a very short space of time.
Yeah. I met Lemmy. I think it was '84, '85, maybe '83, and I had to do an audition in England. But I didn't have my band members with me because the record company just wanted to pay for the singer. So I had to play with other people. And we did sound check in the afternoon. And in the evening, there was like this audition and a big party for a big magazine. So I had some time to kill, and I walked around in London, and I went to a pub, and there was Lemmy. And we hit it off right away, and we drank and smoked cigarettes. And then after a couple of hours, Lemmy said, hey, don't you have to do something? Don't you have to do a gig? And I thought, oh my God. So I walked out. I couldn't even find the place. I was totally like, when Lemmy serves you whiskey cola, then it's that much whiskey and maybe a little tiny bit of cola. And I eventually found this club. Everybody was totally upset. So I walked on stage. The guys in the band said, are you ready? I said, yeah, I'm sorry. So we started our set, and then I forgot all the lyrics. I was so drunk. And then I set myself on the drum riser, hoping this band would just stop, and then they played, instrumental. And then when they were done, I was walking down the stairs, and then people said, well, you ruined your career, that you ruined your life. And I said, yeah, but I'm best friends with Lemmy. That means more to me. And they were laughing, and Lemmy was standing there. He was at this party as well. He was laughing, and, and then I said, okay, you're forgiven. If it wouldn't have been for Lemmy, I wouldn't have made any records anymore. But so that was when I met Lemmy, and then we went on tour with Motorhead and Saxon and Wasp in the UK, and we had great, and Kiss. I was a big Kiss fan, and Gene Simmons produced one of our records in 1990, 89, 90. So that was a dream come true, and I couldn't have asked for more. I was like, oh man.
Wow. So which are your favorite live albums from over the years? Do you have any standout favorite live albums?
Yeah, Kiss Alive 2. Kiss Alive 2. And the Whitesnake live album, I love that. And these two are probably my favorites. Yeah.
When you started out, as a woman in rock music, and especially in heavy metal, a lot of the other women were seen as very sort of glamorous, and they were sexualized quite a lot. But you kind of never went down that route. You kind of stuck to your guns, and you always have. How do you feel things have changed over the year for women in metal? Do you think things have improved, and in what way?
Yeah, totally. I think, there's so many great female musicians, singers out there in all kinds of metal genres, from heavy, from Arch Enemy to Taya or Floyd Jansen of Nightwish, or all these great women, Hailstorm. And of course, I'm friends with Lee Aaron and Lita Ford. When we started out in the 80s, it was the same time, and there weren't so many girls doing it. Rock Goddess was a great band from the UK. I still love Jordan Turner. I
actually saw Rock Goddess opening for Motorhead back in the 80s.
Cool. Oh, you're lucky. Yeah, actually, there weren't so many women, but the ones who were doing it were great. I was a big Ann Wilson fan, hard, I loved. And and then my idols were like all the guys as well, Rob Halford, Dio, David Coverdale. So it didn't matter. But then, I felt, it was important that you wouldn't be in the category that you would view it as a bimbo. That was a word which everybody used in the 80s. Like, for example, a band would do a video shoot. Everybody said, yeah, we need some bimbos in the video, like naked girls, who looked like, in lingerie. But, you could tell it wasn't so powerful. And there was always, I thought, no, man, I don't want to be portrayed like that. Like it always looked very sexy, totally beautiful, but a little dumb, and I thought, oh no. So I rather wanted to stay the way I was, like a natural sex appeal. I always loved black leather, and I always have my leather jacket, my studs on, which is not anymore real leather. I changed my mind about it.
I was going to ask you that.
Yes, yeah. But in the 80s, I didn't know about it and I wasn't conscious about it. But then when I found out, oh God, then I thought, no, I don't want to have real leather anymore. And it's still, all the stuff is leather, but it's fake.
It's really great that you did that, because I think that probably empowered a lot of other women that wanted to get into metal but didn't want to play that game of kind of, the scantily clad front woman. And seeing you on stage just being Doro probably gave them the encouragement to do it their own way and realize they don't have to play by the rules. So respect to you for doing that.
Thank you so much. If it inspired somebody, I'm happy. And and I always try to stay, to stay the way I am. But that wasn't so easy, because many times, like record companies, they always wanted to change you, want to change your style, your look. One time somebody said, okay, if you want to call this album Love Me in Black, which was one of my favorites, they said, okay, then you have to cut off your hair and dye it black. What? And I thought, oh no, man, no, I'm not a fashion clown. And so sometimes you had to really fight, for your songs, for your sound, for your image. It was always something. People always have some ideas. So, and I always thought, when I was young, then I thought, yeah, maybe they know it better. And then later on, I thought, no, I will never do any compromises anymore. It was, the fans will not appreciate it. That's the thing. I think the fans, they know when something is real, when something is honest.
Sure.
And, when you fake something, that's not going to work with the metal and the rock fans.
Yeah. So we've talked about some of the classics of heavy metal. Do you keep up with new music?
Yeah, of course. And I was just playing this great festival in Belgium. Alcatraz Festival was really great. It was the first normal festival in such a long time. And the band Ginger, I thought, was fantastic, fantastic front woman, she was great. I think they're from the Ukraine. Yeah. So I think they're awesome. And and all kinds of, like, I like it super hardcore. I'm a big Amon Amarth fan, and I like it super melodic. I still like all my old favorites like Whitesnake and Dio, Kiss, Motorhead, Saxon. But the new stuff, like whatever is good, whatever, like, touches you. There's a German band. They used to be our support band, and now they became so big, Powerwolf, and wow, and they do a great job, and so so sometimes, it's great to be a witness of when something develops and all. And that's cool. Yeah.
And what's an album that you love that might surprise people? Because obviously everybody knows you as this kind of heavy metal icon, but what's an album that you love that doesn't really fit into that genre?
To me, everything always fits in, whatever makes you feel good or empowers you. But I'm a big Pink Floyd fan. I love Wish You Were Here, and I love David Gilmour's guitar playing. Oh God! So it always depends on the mood, and I love some blues and all. Yeah, I love Etta James. She was one of the greatest blues singers. So so all kinds of great stuff. I love swamp music. Yeah, my first time I was in Louisiana filming the Feima video, which was the first song in 3 languages on the Triumph and Agony album. And there was the second single after All We Are. And then I spent a little bit time in Louisiana, in Baton Rouge, and wow, and in New Orleans. I saw the best musicians, like, wow.
Yeah.
So I like spooky stuff too. And yeah.
Amazing.
Whatever is good, you know.
Whatever is good. I agree with that. Well, thanks very much for spending some time with me. It's been a real pleasure talking to you, and good luck with everything moving forward.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll see you on a stage very soon. Thanks again, Doro, and enjoy the rest of your day. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah. Stay safe. Stay better.
Bye.
Bye-bye.